Good morning, everyone. Come on in. We're going to give just a second for everyone to come in and join us. But in the meantime, I would like to thank our replay viewers who are either here on Buffy's Toolbox Group watching the replay, or perhaps you're watching on YouTube. So I want to thank you for coming and taking a peek and commenting if you'd like. And then also for our live viewers, as you come in, make sure that you say hello. Let me know that you're here. Again, sometimes Facebook tells me when people are here. Sometimes Facebook doesn't. So it just lets me know if you're here, if you say hello and say good morning. So, of course, this is a Monday morning. All right. So I do have to ask, good morning. I do have to ask, how many of you tend to not like Mondays? Anybody not like Mondays? Put a me in the comment stream and just let me know if Mondays tend to kind of give you the Monday blues, if you will. And as we hear from a few of you, then we're going to go ahead and move on with a little bit of something I want to share with you about Mondays, okay? So here's one thing that I had to start looking at differently when it came to Mondays, okay? Because a lot of people think that they hate Mondays. In many situations, what they actually hate is what they have to do come Monday. So for some people, that's their full-time job. That they just dislike their full-time job that much that it's like, no, I hate Mondays. You don't hate Mondays. You might hate your job, but you don't hate Mondays, okay? I also had to start looking at Mondays as an opportunity, okay? And especially once I started doing Premiere and things like that, it was funny because while everyone else is complaining about how much they hate Mondays, I realized I was often looking forward to Mondays because it meant new opportunities. It meant a chance for me to work my business again and, you know, maybe start the week off strong. Maybe do something different this week that I haven't previously done. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about opportunities. Okay, now this is a training that I did do before. However, it was sometime last September. So it's been quite a while since I've kind of touched on this. So I think it's important for us to maybe go there again. Okay. Also because of the fact that I do know that we have new people in this group that perhaps were not here back in September when we previously did this training. So, so I want to put this out there again. So there was a quote that I had once found that said, it's not about having the right opportunities. It's about handling the opportunities right. Okay. And now this was by Mark Hunter at a sales invention and leadership event. He was one of the keynote speakers there. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to get ready to put me in the comment stream if any of these things I share, if you have ever been guilty of thinking these things when looking at somebody else in their business. Okay? Are y'all ready for this? All right. So here are some of the things that I've previously heard in regards to people in direct sales business. Well, she must live in an area where people are actually buying, booking, joining, fill in the blank. Okay. She must live in an area where people are actually buying, booking, or joining. Okay. Now, again, if I say something that you have been guilty of thinking at some point in time, just put me in the comment stream. Another one is, yeah, I could be that successful too if I didn't have a full-time job, kids, other responsibilities, da 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 da. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to leave that one right there for a minute. All right. Another one. Well, that makes sense for them to be that successful. There's two of them. I could be just as successful if I had a partner or had my husband helping me as well. Okay. Of course she's successful. Look at all that amazing support she has. If I had that kind of support, I could be successful too. All right. Now, again, If any of these are things that you've been guilty of saying yourself, put a me in the comment stream. And I'm telling you, I better see lots of me's or y'all are not being honest with yourself. Okay? All right. Here's another one. I could be that supportive if I had her upline too. She has a great upline. How about this one? She must just know all the right people and a lot of them. No one that I know wants to book. Anybody? She just has been blessed with the right personality, the confidence, upline, etc. Fill in the blank. Okay? Or how about this one? She's had so many more opportunities than I do. It just seems like every time she turns around, someone she is meeting is looking to do business with her. Why can't I find those people? All right. So of all those things that you've heard me say, if any of those resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, please put a me in the comment stream. Let me know. And again, be honest with yourself. And it doesn't have to mean that you still think those things. It may just mean that you had a fleeting moment where you were watching someone being recognized for something, or you were watching someone go through these things. Good morning, Myra. And you were watching all of this happen. And as you're watching these things, you start thinking all these crazy things in your head of, well, she just has better opportunities than I do. She just has a better support system than I do. She has a better husband than I do. She has this. She has this. She has this. Okay. So here's what I want you to look at. I want to encourage you to look at this differently. Okay. What if we looked at it from the standpoint of someone else simply handling those opportunities in the right way rather than being afforded the right opportunities? Okay. So I want to challenge your thinking here a little bit. Perhaps she's willing to travel well out of her area to meet people, to do shows, etc. Perhaps when people ask her, how far are you willing to travel? She doesn't respond with up to an hour away. It's possible. Okay. I can tell you, I travel like 3 to 4 hours away to do shows. So it's just saying, okay, it happens. Perhaps she actually has a crazy busy schedule just like everyone else, but she finds time to work her business because she knows how vitally important it is to continuing to have a business by making it a point to make sure that she works that business. Perhaps she has developed a quality over quantity attitude of spending time with her loved ones. Perhaps she has also sacrificed a few months, a few years of hobbies or things like that to be able to get to where she needs to be able to support her family in the way that she needs to. All right. Perhaps she has also learned how to eliminate some time wasters out of her day to give her more hours in the day. See, here's the thing. We all have the same 24 hours in any given day, but what you choose to do with yours might look very different than what I choose to do with mine. What I choose to do with mine might look very different than what the next jeweler does. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are not looking at it from the aspect of, well, if I had more time. You have all the time that you need. It's just a matter of setting your priorities and then actually focusing on that. All right. Perhaps she didn't always have a partner assisting her. Perhaps the success came first, and then because she is but just one person, she needed some extra help. And that's when she brought on a partner or her spouse or a team member or whatever you want to say. Okay. Again, perhaps her success came first before she started receiving the support from her spouse. Maybe she had to first prove herself and this business to her spouse before she started getting the kind of support that she has now. Maybe she was a success regardless of who her upline was. Maybe it had nothing to do with her upline as far as how she had the success that she had. Perhaps she was successful in spite of her upline. Okay? Maybe she took ownership of her own business and worked her business as though she was the only one that could decide whether or not she was successful or not. Perhaps she didn't know all the right people, but she simply got out of her house and talked to people. She met new people. She found ways to network with new people. Perhaps her personality, her confidence, her leadership skills were all developed through her success. Not that she was a success because of it. Confidence is born out of action. Okay? It is something that we get by doing. All right? So the confidence is born out of action and continued practice. Without action and honing in on skills necessary, confidence cannot develop. It just can't. And if you are waiting for confidence before you act, you will be waiting forever. Okay? And perhaps she has simply handled the opportunities in the right way, rather than it being that she was afforded all the right opportunities. Okay? Now, how many of you can think of times when you walked away from meeting someone or from a certain situation and immediately thought, man, I so should have said this when she said this. I so should have handed her a coupon or my business card or collected her information when she complimented me on my necklace. Okay? How many of you have ever seen a Facebook post of someone's and thought, man, my business would so help her situation, but you opted not to send her a message? How many of you regularly skip trainings just because you didn't feel like going or because it was just too crazy of a week and you wanted some downtime? How many of you, by the way, as I'm saying this, if it's you, put me in the comment stream, do a raise of the hand. Look, there you go, Myra. Okay. How many of you choose to stay in your comfort zone in most situations? Like avoiding talking to strangers, avoiding making eye contact with others for fear that you might actually have to talk to them. Maybe you even avoid leaving the house unless you absolutely have to. Okay? How many of you have become a online shopper and refuse to leave your home, or use stamps.com instead of going to the post office? Or perhaps you find ways to make it a point that you do not have to leave your home. Maybe it's delivery of dinner instead of going out and picking something up. Maybe it's sending somebody else to do your shopping for you. Okay? Whatever you want to look at. How many of you choose to not do events even when given the chance? So maybe someone has approached you of doing a joint show or a vendor event or things like that. And you decide, you know what, I just don't think that's going to be worth my time. So I'm not going to do that. How many of you have ever procrastinated on calling a new contact because you misplaced their information or simply forgot to contact them? How many of you are seeing that perhaps you are not making the most of the opportunities that God has provided for you and put in your path? So in fact, maybe you've had plenty of opportunities. Maybe the opportunities have been there all along, but you have simply pass them up willingly, or you fail to handle them properly. Perhaps the biggest difference between someone who has achieved a certain level of success versus someone who has not quite reached that same level, maybe the only difference is that one has looked for opportunities while the other has waited for opportunities. You also need to remember, it's very important to remember that opportunities and success often come disguised as hard work. And if you give up too soon, or you give yourself excuses for why you can't do it or why it won't work, you will miss out on the very opportunities that were meant for you. Now, I want you to also keep this in your mind as well, is there's no such thing as lost opportunities, because those that you choose to pass up, someone else will pick up from behind you. So keep that in mind. I can't tell you the number of times where I've met people who have said, would you be able to get me a catalog, or would you be able to contact me? I have some orders that I've collected. However, the jeweler never returned my calls. Or I got a catalog and I have an order I'd like to place, but the jeweler never followed up with me, and her information isn't even on the back of the catalog. So you want to think about even those different things, even those things of, or vendor events that you choose to not do because, well, your time would be better spent making phone calls or things like that, which I get if you actually take the time to make those phone calls and emails and things like that. But keep in mind, even then, you are still only able to contact people that you have already had contact with. So a vendor event or joint show or things like that is giving you an opportunity to get in front of brand new people that you have not yet had an opportunity to serve. Or perhaps allow you to come back in contact with someone who you previously have had some kind of interaction with, and you realize that you have lost touch with that person, and now suddenly they're going, you know what, let's do business again. Let's do that thing again. Okay? So I want you to really think about the opportunities that you have had, that maybe you simply looked at them and thought, it's just not what I want to do. I want you to remember that many times the opportunities do not look the way that we thought they might. Okay? Sometimes the opportunity comes in the form of someone asking for a free one-on-one fashion consult without any idea whether or not this could potentially turn into a sale, whether or not this could potentially turn into anything, and you are not guaranteed anything by going and devoting some of your time to that person. Perhaps the opportunity comes into play of getting involved in your church and realizing that there's a need for something in the ladies' ministries or things like that. You know, there's so many places where opportunities can be found if we will simply open our eyes to those opportunities, be able to consider things that are kind of outside the box, be able to consider donating our time regardless of what we may get out of it. It might also mean us having to have some sacrifice, us sacrificing whether it be time spent on other hobbies. It might mean sacrificing of maybe not going out and spending the way that you used to. It might mean just sacrificing for the sake of serving other people, regardless of what you think your payback from that might be. It might be sacrificing your time of driving further than what you have previously to do shows. So it might be time for you to look at those opportunities and think about the ones that you've passed up. Think about the ones that are going to come your way even this week. And start being someone who's willing to say, yes, Lord, when you get that holy nudge that says, go talk to that person, go call that person, go be a part of that event, go here, go here, go here. If we start becoming yes, Lord people, you might be surprised how quickly you might see a turnaround in your business. So that is what I have for y'all today. I hope that it has blessed you in some way, shape, or form today. I will be doing my best. I know there have been several of our more recent videos that I have not gotten up on YouTube yet. I'm going to be trying to get that taken care of today. So I hope that this one will soon be up within at least a couple hours anyway, that I'll get it up, and then I will post the link here just in case you have anybody that you would like to share this link with who perhaps is not a part of this group. So thank you so very much for being here. I know you guys could have spent your time anywhere this morning. You chose to spend it here with us, so I so appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much. Be blessed.